So, my character I have to share with you is Caiaphas. The role of a chief high priest, what is his role? He acts on behalf of the people, and he goes once a year for the atonement of sin. And he has to be, in a sense, he has to be clean, he has to be pure, and he has to be without blemish, in a sense. So he has to go into the Holy of Holies, and he's the only one allowed into the Holy of Holies. So Caiaphas, he was appointed a high priest by virtue of the fact that his father-in-law, this is father-in-law, son-in-law situation, Annas, who was the high priest before that, got him appointed. And he was also a political appointee. His priestly line was actually, in fact, in question. And he wanted position and status. The trial of Caiaphas, when Jesus first went to Annas, and probably he got a call or something like that, and Caiaphas was told, here, this person, Jesus, is coming, you better do something. The whole trial was steeped in corruption. There was falsehood, there was false witnesses, it was done at night. At that time, it was not, that was against the law. He was a false judge, in my opinion. He was not supposed to be judging Jesus. And there was no evidence of wrongdoing. Absolutely nothing. So, absolutely not supposed to do what he did. I also want to touch about, that was his inside. I want to touch about his outside. The robe that he wore and all the attachments to it. The designed by God in very intricate, immaculate situation. What in Exodus, God describes how to wear this and what to do. On the shoulders, in stone, in onyx stone and inlaid in gold, is not written but etched into that the names, the tribes. Just like that is quite heavy, just like how Jesus carries our burdens. Cast unto me all your burdens. And that's what the high priest was supposed to do. And over his heart was the breastplate. And little significance I want to tell you about it. It starts with a ruby and ends with a diamond. Something akin to pulling us out from dirt and making us pure. And how in John, when John was in Revelations was revealed, Jesus sitting on the throne, it was the other way about. Pure as the diamond, and then followed by ruby. So what was the significance? Ruby, it shows a little redness. We can't forget ever that by his blood, we were made pure as jasper to stand in front of God. So the other thing that this robe was, it was woven, bound, so that it shall not tear. That's what the Lord said in Exodus. It shall not tear. And what did Caiaphas do? He tore this. And by this, what was so dear to God, what God commanded him as a chief priest, he went against God. And really he alienated the people who God holds dear to his heart and whom he died and rose again to save. So this whole thing of Caiaphas was absolutely not on, if I can say that. And Where does it really leave us? In God's plan, Caiaphas gave up his role to be the high priest when he told this. He should not have continued, but illegally he continued. He even tried some of the disciples. And he paved the way for Jesus to be the kingly chief high priest for us. And to die and rise again for us. That was God's plan. And in everything, where does it come for us? In everything of God's plan, there is something good for us. Thank you.